Alright guys, today I got a Fujitsu Lifebook T5010. This one's got some physical damage. It's got a broken corner. I don't know if you guys can see that. Also the rear USB on the right side, that USB port has been pushed in. It's actually broken from the board there. It's separated. See if I can move it with my tweezers. Yeah, I can grab a hold of it. So today we're going to be focusing on that. Alright, so battery's already out. We're going to remove the filter for the fan, the little grill, undo the, I think there's 13 screws here. Yep, 13 screws. So then we remove this cover, and then this will expose the hard drive, memory modules. Well, the memory modules by removing this 2 screws. Then we'll get access to your fan, heatsink, and the USB port we are going to be working on is here. So the nice thing about this is that we just have to remove this board, which is your modem and Ethernet, or yeah, just the 56K modem, your phone line. So remove the modem card by removing 2 screws. This will actually disconnect from the board, and then it is taped on with Captain tape. Just remove that, set that aside, and then this should be 2 screws. Those 2 screws aside, and then we should be able to remove this board, and we'll just go ahead and disconnect it. Now the pins on this USB port, I don't know if you guys can see that. They're kind of bent, so I'm just gonna, they're bent but not broken, so I'm just gonna bend those legs back to kind of get them as straight as possible. Okay. See if I can do it better with my tweezers. Just hold on to them and bend them. Okay. We really have to straighten them out. Both horizontally and vertically, we have to make sure that they're perfectly aligned. And I'm looking at on these side tabs here, we have to bend them. I'm going to use my needle nose pliers. See, I'm trying to save money here for the customer. But this is okay. Just bend that up. Bend it so that it's closer to a 90-degree. And then you could do this to yours too. You know, you want to save money. You don't want to wait for a new one to ship in. Now, this one, you know, I'll be able to align them a little bit better. Oh, just what I was afraid of. Ooh, okay. I got lucky. There is a pad that is peeled from the board here. Okay. Now, I could easily go and get a parts unit because I have some. But what's the point of that? Just remove some of this dust here. No alcohol, just toothbrush. It looks like the pad is separated from the board, from the PCB board, but it's not actually torn completely off. So it should make a connection still. Okay, so we're going to attempt to repair that. Get my helping hand here. I'm just going to set this computer aside back here. Okay, let me zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing. So we'll be right here. See if I can get it to focus on that board. Okay. I hope you guys can see that clearly. And I'm just gonna hold the board like that. Going to add some no clean flux. Just touch that on the pads. Okay. Then we'll take the soldering iron, tin the tip, and for this I'm just going to touch the pads just to remove any big chunks of any chunks that are left there from the. Wow, is this not hot enough or what? Because it looks like the legs from the USB port actually broke off. So. Alright, we're just going to clean this off. Grab my desoldering braid. And let it warm up. Okay. Let me I always add some flux on there too while you're doing the braid. Okay. Okay, and then we'll just remove all the solder as that's possible to be removed from these big points here, because these are the ones that have the bulk of it. Alright, so now we will I'm just going to tin the legs on the USB connector itself. Right now I'm just trying to get all the impurities off of it. I'm just doing that by dragging some solder on the area where you're going to connect it, on the little legs here. Okay. Now we need to add more flux, because now I'm going to get ready to go to attempt to reattach the USB port. I'm just going to let some run on here like that. going to spin it sideways a little bit so I can kind of see what I'm doing here. Okay.
So the results of this pie, as you say, this capital gains pie, which is much bigger, the hugest proportion of it is going to this tiny fraction of Americans. Most of us, the
Okay. Just doing one corner so I can kind of twist it and then attach the one leg on the other side. Let that dry, cool down. Just heat up the leg, let the solder flow in there on its own.
You say there's another sort of adding of insult to injury, but a lot of people who are wage earners, as they run into economic trouble in the past few years, they start selling whatever assets they have, and that is getting.
Now I'm going to spin it around. I'm going to do the back legs. Clean the tip off of there. Add some more flux. I hope you guys can see this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten the leg out. I'm just going to tin my gonna bend. I gotta try to straighten out the bend the leg there. Okay, that's a little more straight onto where it needs to be. Shoot. Okay, so I just bridged the 2 feet back here. Alright. Alright. So I unbridged it. Now this isn't going to look as pretty as it should because the legs are all crazy. Let's turn this off. Move this to the side, and then we're going to clean that up. Alright, so I hope you guys were able to see that. I couldn't see what you guys were looking at because I had the helping hand down here. So I apologize if you guys didn't get to see that. But now it's soldered on there. It looks really bad, but I'm hoping that this works. They're making a connection, and they're not cold solder joints, so we'll see. Back it out. We're going to put this onto the unit. First, I'm going to clean it with some alcohol. Just scrub it. Okay, and then we connect it. Quick. There we go. It goes in like that. go. Check it out, and it's kind of sitting where it's supposed to be. Screw this in by hand. I use the power tools to remove the screws just to make that faster, but sometimes with like little boards like this, I tend not to use the power tool to screw it back in. Motherboard sometimes I do, but I put it on a torque setting of 1. This is just 2 screws. I'll do it if I have a lot of screws to remove. Just trying to get this in there. Okay. We're going to peel this tape off because this is old crusty tape. So I will add some nice fresh tape. Okay, so then we have that done. Next thing to do is turn it on. Boy, this has got a lot of missing parts. I'll bring it down here once it boots in. It says defective keyboard. We'll see. Alright, well, it's booting into Windows Vista right now. What we're going to do is, I have a USB cable back here, right here, behind it, that I'll connect to it, and that runs an external hard drive that I use to save my Windows images from different computers. Okay, so once this boots in, alright, I'll bring it down here. And it was the USB port that was back here, so I used my stylus pen because apparently this is not going to work, so we'll go to my computer. And then right now it has hard drive C and D. This is the recovery image for this computer. Okay, so let's just bend this down a little bit. This is the one that I just repaired. Okay. As you can see, this is the hard drive, the external hard drive that it runs. And it says it's installing. This is a Maxtor One Touch USB device. And there it is. It worked. There's Windows loads. There you go. So the repair worked. Just because your USB port broke off of your PCB board or your motherboard, in this case it was just a PCB board that connects to the motherboard. If it breaks off of that board, it doesn't really mean that you can't repair it. I just did it. Granted, the legs are going to be a little crooked. It's not going to look pretty, but if it works, and then we'll look at it again. Pop it up. But if it works, I mean, there it is. Windows load, or Windows loads. So, there you have it. That's repairing the USB port, or reattaching the USB port on a Fujitsu Lifebook T5010. This can go for any other laptop that you may have. As long as the pads are not completely ripped off. Like this one, there was a pad that was torn, but it was not completely removed from the motherboard. Therefore, it was still able to make a connection, which enabled me to continue with the repair. If the pad was completely ripped off, then there would have been absolutely no chance of a repair. Thanks for watching. Like, comment with your questions, or just anything that you wanted to leave a comment for. Subscribe if you'd like to. If not, that's fine. I'm just here to make videos to potentially help you fix your problems. Have a great day.